Have you ever been in the middle of a client call, one you've done 100 times before, and suddenly your body just says, nope, not today? Your chest tightens, your voice shakes, and all of your usual confidence tricks? Useless. That happened to me recently, and today I want to talk about what it feels like when anxiety takes over during a routine part of your business, what I did next, and how I'm navigating my way through it. Welcome to Just What I Needed, the podcast where we dive into the tools, ideas, and stories to help you level up your life and business, exactly when you need it. I'm Monica, photographer, entrepreneur, and self-proclaimed systems nerd, here to share everything from mindset shifts and creative breakthroughs to the science of building smarter systems. Whether you're looking to turn your failures into fuel, reframe life's challenges, or geek out on tools like Airtable, this is your space to explore it all. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's make today the day you hear just what you needed. Let me set the scene. I was on a session planning call, one of those typical ones I've done hundreds of times before. Things were going smoothly until I got to the part where I start leading the call more. Less back and forth, more me delivering my process, my pricing, and what to expect. And then, out of nowhere, anxiety. Real body slamming anxiety. Tight chest, racing thoughts, sweaty, hot, and this overwhelming feeling of, I don't want to do this right now. This wasn't nerves. This was something different. Something that none of my usual rituals could shake. Normally, I've got my pre-call rituals down. I do Superman pose in the mirror. I hype myself up with affirmations like, you've done this 100 times. You are amazing. You are a multi-six-figure professional dog photographer. And at my desk, I even have my little stuffed animals in my lap and stim toys within reach. But none of it worked this time, and it was terrifying. What helped me get through it was something I'd already built into my system. My call script, a written guide of exactly what I need to say. I leaned on it hard. Even though I felt like I had lost my warmth and spark, I survived it. And here's where my tech background swooped in to save me. Before I was photographing adorable pups full-time, I worked in IT, training doctors how to use electronic medical record systems. These systems were, let's just say, not exactly beloved. I was basically tech support meets therapist, listening to complaints about updates, button colors changing, or why the patient notes that they had taken wouldn't just auto-populate like magic. And yet, I had to get these folks on board. So I built super detailed step-by-step presentations and tutorials for them. Full color slideshows, PDFs that explained everything like you were 5, and backup guides for every single scenario. And when I ran those trainings, I had guides for myself too, just in case I froze or someone needed extra help. That habit carried into my business. My session planning calls are backed by a fully written out, color-coded, bolded, talking voice script. It's all organized by topic and sprinkled with cues for when to ask questions or to take a pause. I don't need it every time, but when I do, it's like a safety net I made just for myself. At first, I thought that moment of panic was a one-time fluke. I had a tough day before that call, a full-on meltdown, crying, thought loops, spiraling, full-on shutdown. I was still feeling numb the next day, and I could feel that my social battery was very low. But I hoped that my mask would carry me through it like it always has. And while I am learning to unmask and I try to unmask, I know that there are situations like when I'm on a session planning call that my mask just turns on, and it generally does carry me through the call and I'm able to be very social. But this time, that mask didn't hold. And 2 days later, it happened again. So then I jumped on TikTok and I made a video asking for advice. Fair warning, my personal TikTok account is very random. If you decide to go on there and look at my videos, it's a bit chaotic. I'm just having fun with TikTok. But wow, the responses I got were so validating and helpful. So here's a quick little list of what people suggested. Keep a fidget toy or stress ball nearby. Ask if the client can hold for a moment, or even see if you can reschedule. Have something calming to smell within reach. Lavender was the suggestion. Sip water or keep a cup with ice at your desk. And the last one is pop a warhead in your mouth. Very sour candy. Apparently, that sour punch can snap your system out of an anxiety spiral real fast. Since then, I have had 5 session planning calls. Some of these things became my go-to. I did mock calls with my partner, and even though he could tell I was struggling, he reassured me that most people wouldn't notice, and he's right. That reminder alone helped lower the pressure. Right before the call, if I start to feel that anxious feeling, but I don't have time to run off and stare in the mirror and do Superman pose again, I'll write down on like a piece of paper, whatever I can grab, I am safe. I am good at this. Everything goes my way. I am a professional, multi-6-figure dog photographer. I am providing a service. Sometimes I'll just write, I am safe over and over again, and that helps. I keep a very tiny, like a sliver of a piece of a warhead at my desk now. I do that because the idea of popping an entire warhead in my mouth in the middle of a phone call sounds like very distracting. So I keep just a tiny little piece that I can just discreetly pop in my mouth and no one would know that I have a mouthful of candy. It's just a tiny little piece. So I keep that at my desk. I haven't used it yet, but it's there in case I do need it. I even research alternatives to live calls just to know that that option is available. And you know what? The anxiety hasn't fully disappeared, but it's getting less intense. Some calls are smooth again. Others, I pause, ask the client more about themselves, and buy myself a few grounding seconds. If you've ever felt this too, in a Zoom call, a client meeting, or even while sending an email, you are not alone. Anxiety can show up unannounced, but it doesn't get to define your worth, your business, or your abilities. My goodness, this definitely made me doubt my abilities for sure. You can still be brilliant and anxious. You can still serve your clients with love, even if your hands are shaking a little. You can definitely build systems and rituals that hold you when your body or brain is trying to bail. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story. DM me on Instagram or leave a review sharing how anxiety has shown up in your business life. Your words help others feel seen too. And if you're looking for a few of the calming tools I mentioned, I've put together a little list in the show notes for you to check out. And remember, sometimes the thing you're feeling isn't a sign of weakness. It's just a signal that you need something a little different that day. Let's keep finding out just what you need together. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep going. You've got this.